Welcome to the Nehemiah Entrepreneurship Community Podcast. I'm your host, Patrice Tagay. I am here with my good friend, my Mexican brother from another mother, Rene Villar. Rene, welcome to the podcast.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Patrice. Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
You truly are my brother now because you went to Cameroon.
I'm a Cameroonian too. I have family there now.
That's right. You almost got stuck there, but you went.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
Rene, thank you for being here. So we invited him into the studio to talk about, to interview him about what it means to be a kingdom investor. So today we're going to talk about what it means to be a global kingdom investor. Again, as you all know, we have Nehemiah Week coming up August the 10th through the 15th. And so Nehemiah, as part of Nehemiah Week, we have what we call an investor forum, where we have investors like Rene, where they get a chance to hear new business ideas and new businesses, where they get a chance to determine if they're going to invest in those businesses or not. And so these investors either invest directly in the business, or they invest in the Nehemiah Global Investors Fund, whereby we then go ahead and we then invest in that business and we pay the entrepreneur, the investors back. When they invest into Nehemiah, when they lend us the money, they make less of return. They make, based upon the investment, they make about between a 4 to 6% return. If they're invested into the business, then they negotiate with the entrepreneur whatever the return is, and of course they bear the risk. So the investing in Nehemiah is safer because there's less risk, because Nehemiah is liable for it, and then we go ahead and pay the investor, or they can invest during the business. But either way, Rene has done both. Rene has made investments into businesses in the U.S., internationally, in Africa particularly. Rene has done debt investment. Rene also done equity investment. And two of Rene's investments are now being converted into debt to Nehemiah, where Nehemiah will pay him back. He'll make less return, but at least he'll be assured to get that back. It's like a bond almost. But Rene is also a board member with the Nehemiah Project, a biblical entrepreneur. He's also a major donor. And Rene used to be regional director for Nehemiah Latin America. And Rene, welcome to the studio.
Hello, thank you, Patrice.
Rene, you are a familiar face to Nehemiah Project. You are friends around the world, but not everybody knows what you do exactly. They know that you are the CEO and founder of Behemoth International. And that also has Behemoth USA. Behemoth is a business development, consulting, and investment company through which Rene invests in these businesses. I'm honored to be Rene's coach and also an investor in Behemoth. And so Rene, tell them a bit about you and your journey so they can get a sense of who you are. Rene Villar. You have Behemoth. What else do you have going on? Who's Rene Villar?
Who's Rene Villar? Okay. I think I'm an entrepreneur. That is the truth. And I learned this when I met you 10, 11 years ago. I think that I was in this problem of my bankruptcy. And for my life in that moment, when I realized that all these dreams that can come true, to helping others, investing in others, and doing this with all this idea about kingdom, to do this for God, no? So when the people ask me what is my experience or my profession or my this is I'm an entrepreneur. I love that, and I think even it's a huge responsibility about that investment. Always put a gain in the to see the gain in others, no? So that is, I think, what defined me. So that's why I started this Behemoth company. Was idea from God that I learned from the Bible. I think the Bible is the biggest book of finance. The best book of finance is the Bible. And well, I'm a father. I'm married 25 years ago. I have two kids, beautiful sons that they are even involved in business with me. Recently, this year, we set up a leasing company with my sons. So now I feel the responsibility to teach them to be an entrepreneurs and investors and all this thing about to do this for many others, no? So, well, I think that defined.
Awesome. And I've come to know Rene's family, his wife, beautiful wife, fun, loves to dance. Right, Rene? She loves to dance.
Yes, she loves to
And
dance.
Beautiful kids. Rene is involved in our couples and business life group, and we all kind of see each other. We all try to open doors for our wives and support them. Rene is also based in Mexico, Mexico City. Rene, most people get surprised, particularly Americans, that a Mexican is a major investor in the Nehemiah Global Investors Network. Well, how do you feel about that? That sometimes they're surprised that here it is, you're Mexican and you're one of the major investors in Nehemiah.
You know that I'm not a big. I'm not. I don't use too much of my time to study and classes and teaching. But I go deep with this with Nehemiah. All what Nehemiah teach, I always be there. The podcast, everything, and every Nehemiah week when I started to go 10 years ago. Was so nice. All these friends talking, having the same idea, the same confidence. I don't know. It's a huge family, around the world. But I remember that in the second or the third Nehemiah week, I say, "Hey man, when we are going to start to make business? I want dollars. I do pesos, but I want to make dollars." So even it was funny, but really was like a challenge to run and all the friends, and they need to see that I'm gonna do that in the United States. And just you always insist too much. Think globally. Think globally. Think globally. I was for several years. I was trying. How do I gonna do a business in the United States? So complicated. Too many rules. Too many. I was trying, and I was trying to do it, and suddenly the door was the Kingdom Business Forum and all the what the Maya offer, and it was so easy, really so easy with the hand of all of you to do this in the United States. So I hope that do an impact to all the other board members and friends of the Maya. No, I was expecting that really.
And you have.
That's good.
And we'll talk more about it. So Rene, let's go back to your journey and your story. So when you used to own a business and then you went bankrupt, and at that moment you didn't know the Lord, and then
yes,
you discovered Christ and you started Nehemiah. Tell us a bit about first Rene before Nehemiah, before Jesus. Who was that guy and how was he like? What kind of business did he do?
I lose you.
Tell us about Rene before Nehemiah, before Jesus.
I don't hear you.
You cannot hear me? Okay.
No.
He cannot.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. I can hear you fine. We're having technical difficulties here.
Oh, sorry, because I don't hear you. But well, I think you tell me that how was.
All right, we lost Rene Villar. Again, we're talking about Rene Villar. We talked about what it means to be a kingdom impact investor with the Nehemiah Project. August the 10th through the 15th, during Nehemiah Week, we're going to have the Investors Forum. Now, let me take you out what the Investors Forum is as we wait for Rene. Have you guys?
Hello.
All right. Now you're here. Can you hear me now?
I'm here. Sorry.
No
technology.
worries. All right.
Well, you were asking me about before my life before Christ, before this thing.
Yeah. Who was the Rene before Jesus, before Nehemiah?
Thank you. Well, I'm the middle of three brothers. When I was in the school, my father when I was in high school, he suffered a huge illness, sickness, and no was a way to pay me the school, so I go out from the school. So when I start to make business, I start to do business with my mother when I was 18. I learned from my mother. God teach me, give me the opportunity to see how much I learned from my mother as entrepreneur. My mother always was an entrepreneur, and I worked with her. And then I worked some years with my father that he was an accountant. And these two opportunities to work with both of my fathers, I think built me how what I'm now. But I never realized that. When I was 27, I opened an import-export company. We do a great job in that time. I import many things with our own brand to Mexico. But well, some moment we made a mistake with bad people in the company, and they made me a huge fraud.
Fraud. Yeah.
Yes, and huge. And I made many mistakes with the IRS, and I was close to go to jail. So I think that defined me because I had to hide for 2 years. Was so difficult that time without no money, many debts, and hiding to running from jail. And well, but the Lord came to my life, rescued me, to me, my family, my wife, well, my family, and it was so funny because imagine at 38 years old with nothing in the hand, trying to define what I'm gonna do with my life. I don't have nothing, you know. And in that moment, in the first year, I think that I was going to the church. You came, Nehemiah came to Mexico, and I decided to take the BE training, and that impacted my life a lot. I remember that I was so shy about everything, and I met you, and I asked you that I have. I remember that in that time I told you that I have many dreams in my mind, and that is can be possible to do business with that in some moment. And I remember that you was so straight and say yes, you can. So, and that's why I'm here, no?
Wow.
So that's why I'm now convinced me too much about my role is to be an entrepreneur. And I remember this part on the Bible in Psalms. I don't remember the chapter, but it says the if you want to see the greatness of God, you have to go to deep waters, no?
Yeah.
Not stay in like
That's right.
kid. No, go there. So I believe that, and I go there. And well, that was my in the past what I learned from my fathers. It was great what I learned from my dad as accountant. He used to work in government, so I stayed with here working around 10 years, always talking about finance, money, control money, invest money, these things. And with my mother, as entrepreneur in the, doing everything.
Wow. I love it. So you take now the business plan that you presented was Beamer. And I remember when
Yes.
you look, and you even presented at the International Business Plan Competition.
Yes.
Now you look at then and now. Now Bemis has invested in a business in Congo, 3 businesses in the U.S. You've done some things in Mexico. You even so. How does it feel years later that Bemis is a reality?
It's crazy. Ah, you made me cry, man. I remember I was in there, in that place in San Miguel, the place that I lived 2 years out of the city. And I was reading the Bible in the first weeks or months, really. And I was learning to read the Bible, trying to understand all these ideas from God, no? And I remember that I was reading. Oh, sorry, I forgot it. Job, the book of Job, Job. And I reading in the chapter 47, 41, about this demot, how God described that is the principles of the way of God, and I start to imagine to have a company that can help others. So was in some moment of this journey, I forgot the idea. I in that moment I remember that I say I want to have a company like that, and I forgot in the journey. And when I took the B1, the idea being come again, and I take responsibility about that. I think the most important about this is that I take the responsibility. I know that as human I do many mistakes in my life still, but that don't say that I don't want to lose never my responsibility about what God give me on that. So it's a reminder, I think, always to see now BMO, and of course not all the business go as I think or as I dream, but I have the joy in my heart that I see people with work now, with their own business. Maybe I lose some contact with some of these people in this journey, but I feel good that I saw these people having their own companies, their own growth. I don't want to stop to do that about Vimot, and it's so crazy that when I to some friends I say I'm a partner for the school in Congo, and the people look at me, why you go to Congo? No, I don't know Congo, but even I have a business in Congo too, no. So I don't care. I don't need to go to Congo to make business, because I know the family of Nehemiah is there, and it's the same heart, the same intention for of all this family,
Wow. Now, Rene, you have single-handedly supported and invested to make sure Nehemiah Project stays in Mexico. You're the major donor every year. As a matter of fact, you're going to hear at the board meeting how now Nehemiah Project Kenya is now profitable. So now Frank is the first center to start being profitable.
Wow.
That's the goal for Nehemiah Mexico. That just like Frank, where he's paying his salary, he has his staff, it's turning.
Wow.
You've been carrying Nehemiah Mexico. What's been your motivation? Why has it been so important for you that every year you invest to make sure that Nehemiah Mexico is stays alive?
I think I'm gonna say this with all the respect and no comparing the things, but it's a feeling in my heart. I received too much from God how He used Nehemiah in my life, and I see when I start this crazy journey. When I went the first time to the Nehemiah Week in Portland, all the people that was in my office working with me in the business incubator that I used to be the president of that business incubator, all these people that was with me, they was dreaming with me all of this. I remember all the faces of these ladies and men and friends that we sit every week about to talk the devotional that you send every week to talk about that business. So I think it's like, for me, it's like, maybe I'm gonna say a mistake, but it's like my church, Nehemiah.
Wow.
So in some way, I feel Nehemiah like a church of business. I don't know how to explain. So I feel that great responsibility to maintain. I know that we have to do best effort to be profitable, Nehemiah in Mexico. But well, that is I feel this responsibility with Nehemiah as the church that I go and I tithe. I feel Nehemiah in the same way.
Wow. Now, the other day we interviewed Yamil, who was the winner of the International Business Playing Competition last year in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
And then he was mentored by Edna, who
Yes.
invested in him when he had nothing and helped him also now.
Uh-huh.
You mentored Edna,
Yes.
and she had nothing. You invested in her. Now she's a successful entrepreneur, even though you're your business partner.
Yes.
How do you feel when you see Edna now investing in others and many others that you've helped and how you've created this movement? Now she's leading Mexico. She's the region director. How does that make you feel?
Yes, I remember. I told you that in that time when I was doing this the Bible devotional, the Nehemiah devotional, all the face of them. No, when I went and they support me too much with prayers. You know, always I was scared. Even I in that time I even didn't speak English. No, and Nehemiah and Edna was there. When I received the responsibility to take the business incubator, I remember that I told to Edna that because in that time she quit from the business incubator, and then suddenly they give me the responsibility to be the president. I said to Edna, if you don't come back with me here, I don't gonna take the responsibility of the business incubator. I'm gonna release. And she decided to continue working with me. I learned too much from her. She's so structured. She's a really, really good teacher. I learned too much from her, many things. So I remember that when she told me, Rene, as when you do this for me, I want to do this for others. And she take the responsibility of Yamil. So I don't plan these things, but I told you, it's a huge responsibility with God about to be an entrepreneur, a businessman, an investor. So I just can say thanks to Edna that we live. Sometimes we have some small difference, I think, but when we talk about business, she understands me very well, and in the other hand, I feel the same from her. So she's a bless, and I know she's doing a great job. She's handled many things, many changes, but she always so compromised with his task and his life and his ideas.
Wow. So you're like a grandfather, right? So now is your daughter, and now your meal is your grandchild.
Maybe, yes.
And
A
then
little bit.
your meal is going to have some people, and it's going to keep going down.
Yes, yes, yes. I remember this idea that I built many ideas from God about how to do the business, and I had the responsibility to be, the people around you. If you don't help them to build them, is this thing about don't no richness is about to administrate the richness. Is it right?
Yep, that's right.
It's not just to keep. But you have to sit with all the people around you, and I
I
think
love it.
is a correct way to build walls, good walls, no, good people, no, around you, not just to keep and pay salaries. That is so simple,
I love it.
no.
I love it. Now, Rene, so you're have been an investor. You invested lots of money into businesses in Nehemiah. Let's talk about that experience. Has been for you. It's been risky. It's been tough, but you've been there. So you've invested in a construction company. You've invested in a school. You've invested in a marriage coaching company. You've invested in a technology company. Those are the only ones. Those are just the ones in the United States. How's been that experience for you as an investor, as a Kingdom Impact investor? How's been that experience for you?
Well, the first thing is I think is to def- define define myself as an investor. In the beginning was so difficult to accept the idea, you push me too much on that to be part. I remember when I went to the first Kingdom Investor Forum.
Yeah.
It was like, what is this? No, they are talking about too much money and plan business, you know, finance, this, that, and something, and it's so important. But something that I decide before that is the heart of the people, the heart of the owners of the company, of the presenters. No, you know. The people that are asking for investment, no, I like to try to see his heart for why they are doing this this thing. But well, I was difficult in the beginning to define me as investor. Now I understand that I'm doing regularly. Even in this moment, even I will do another investment in a digital platform in United States that I need to talk with you later about this. The people look me oftenly to do this, no? So is so risk. Many times even the business take more time to start to
roller coaster
to pay, no. one thing that I learned about this journey is that I think the people never ask this. The investors, I don't think all the investors ask about this process.
Yeah.
How is the process of the business? Because one thing is just to stand up and please, this is the numbers, so that's the numbers. No. Who is gonna check the process always? No, it's so important. I think it's a huge thing to pay attention about this. How is continue the business? Who is running this business? No, but because even the COVID, the many things. But one thing that I love from Nehemiah, for example, is always any class, everything is same the process, repeat the process. I learned that much that here in Mexico, in the Incorp company that I'm partner, that we administrate payroll
services.
Payroll services, sorry. You don't even now. I did it. We have our new area inside the company about mejora continua. I have two persons, especially just to make process all the ways, and repeat.
Wow.
And they open, my partners open the area about mejora continua. Sorry, I don't know how to say in English. It's this area that always is checking everything, try to develop new things always.
Wow.
So officially we have the area. So
awesome.
Yes. So well, I think it's an investment too. Always, no. Invest the time in a good way, no?
Yeah.
Even.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I love it. What I love about you, Rene, is that you're so teachable and you're always learning. So Rene, so come the week of August 10th to 17th, you and many investors are going to be there on that Thursday. And you're going to hear two businesses that are going to stand up and pitch. One is a school from Kenya, does over $2 million a year. And they're going to pitch, for example, one is a piece of platform from France. They're going to pitch. So somebody's listening and watching. By the way, if you have not yet registered for Nehemiah Week, I want to encourage you to do so. The week of August 10th through the 15th, go to NehemiahWeek.com. You can register and be a part of a transformational week where you'll meet investors like Rene and you meet others and learn and connect with folks around the globe. Now, so Rene, somebody's listening and watching this. What does an investor like Rene look for?
Sorry, I don't understand.
What does an investor like Rene look for? What are some things that investors look for before they can invest in a business? What advice could you share with them as to what you will look for if you want to make an investment? What are some tips you can give the entrepreneur? What are things that they want to have together if somebody like you, an investor, is going to invest in a business, what are the things that they need to have together? What do you look for?
What I'm look for?
Yeah.
To do an investment?
Exactly. In a business or the entrepreneur, what do you look for? What are some things you look for?
Well, I hope I understand. Really, the first thing is if I want to invest, I like to know about the entrepreneur, about their life, about how they really will change in their life or in their community or in the place that he will be there. And through that, how many times we can reply in that place. I like that. It's one of the things that I like when I invest in something. For the things about numbers, finance, I think I'm not. I don't think that I'm not an expert. I know what I want to take care about myself, about my investment. But that is, I think, so simple just to check with the right people. For example, I have a partner in the leasing company that is a young guy, friend of my son's. He's 22. He's study finance. So all that things, I just take the numbers, the paperwork. Hey, what do you think about this? Oh, these numbers, yes, no. Or to my nephew, you know, my nephew that he's economist too.
Yeah.
Numbers, but if they tell me this is okay, I'm looking for the how will impact that family or that place or like that's why I like the school in Congo, no? And I'm thinking in the future when the businesses start to come through, revenues of these things, how to do again in other with the same heart there, no? Or in other country there, no? But well, I hope that I catch the idea.
Yeah, no, I love it.
What just me.
That's important because our kingdom impact investors, they're investing in people for transformational purpose. So you're looking for the heart. You're looking for that person. How will that impact their lives and so forth? And then you also want to make sure it's profitable and so forth. But you have folks around you to help you do that. Let me ask you a question, Rene. So an investor is watching this podcast. Somebody who want to be an investor. They want to be like Rene. What are the things that you want them to consider before they can make an investment? Speak to the investors. What are these? I want to be an investor like you. What are some tips you can give me?
Patience. Be patient, please. One thing that we have to realize as investors is that was a challenge for me, but I think I learned quickly that from God. It's not about big amounts of money, because the people are thinking. Many times I hear that, Rene, you do this because you have money. No, but it's not about that. I don't start that when I never start with too much money in the beginning, no. So you can start with really. Maybe it's, how to explain. If I have $1,000, I want to invest $1,000. And what is nice with Nehemiah that Nehemiah give that opportunity, no? Obviously, it depends on the business, the shares of the quantities or the necessity of the entrepreneur need. But I think in time you always gonna find ways to invest. I remember the ice cream story in IT. No, it was a huge amount.
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah.
so everybody has to be the opportunity, can have the opportunity, no? So I think many people that maybe is hearing us now, they can be an investors, really. But maybe my advice is be patient, no? About what you're gonna face on this, no? Because and always invest from the money that is not for living, no? That is a mistake.
Good.
That is a big mistake, no? I learned how to. I remember when you teach me about the percentage, about the 100% of something, of the money, 10% of tithe, 10% for savings for emergency, 20% for giving. So when that is start to increase, I start to use that money in that way, always, always, always. So I make savings always. So is from that money when that I always do the investment, no? And then you face many things. You have to be patient because if you don't have patience or trust in God and rest in Him, the last year maybe we can make some mistake, just uh, go running, and you understand me, no?
Yeah,
This
yeah,
this thing.
yeah. No, good stuff. Armando Sanchez says uh, TGIS. Armando, what do you mean by TGIS? It's very important. It's a very important project. Do you know Armando? Armando Sanchez? Do you know him?
No, no. What he say? Sorry.
He said TGIS. Oh, we lost Rene. But anyway, you're watching and listening to the Nehemiah Entrepreneurship Community podcast. Armando, could you tell us what you mean by TGIS, if you don't mind? You're listening to,
TGIS is a very important project.
yeah. Do you know what it is? Okay,
No.
that's okay. You're watching or listening to the Nehemiah Entrepreneurship Community podcast. I'm with your host Patricia. I get the typo. Oh, that's what it meant. Okay, this is a very important project. Okay, thank you so much, Armando. And we want to invite you to join Rene and many others at Nehemiah Week this year, August the 10th through the 15th, where we're going to be dealing with growth through strategy with speakers from around the world. And as part of it, we're going to have an investors forum where investors like Rene will get a chance to hear businesses. Not all businesses that in that pitch are going to raise capital, and not every investor are going to invest money. But the process is a learning lesson for entrepreneurs to help them to understand how to make a pitch and how to raise capital. And Rene has invested over $500,000 in businesses in the U.S. and other parts of the world. And he's given some good advice and good tips about how to think about investment. Rene, you make a good point. It's not about the amount. I have an investor who recently invested $5,000 in the chicken fund.
Okay.
He
5,000.
5,000,
Excellent.
and
Excellent.
we are using that money to invest in other business all around. And so he
Mhm.
gets, and he's. I said, so when do you want to? I said, so can you hear me, Rene?
Yes, I hear you, but
Okay.
your video is freeze. Is
Yeah, I'm
freeze.
not sure why, but so I said, so how do you want? When do you want this money to? When do you want to get it back? And he said, in 5 years. So he's going
Excellent.
to get every 5 years, while his money
Uh-huh.
is being used to invest. When it comes back, we're going to invest in other businesses. It's going to recycle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter the amount. It could be any amount. Rene, the last 12 months have not been easy for you. Because people are hearing you, looking at you, so well, Rene got money, he's doing well. But you've had a tough 12 months, the last 12 to 24 months. Let's talk about it a little bit, if you don't mind. So first, Mexico has some challenge with a new president, and so your company went through some financial. Could you talk about a bit of your challenge in the last 24 months, and then some of your investments didn't do as well. So could you talk a bit about that and how you handled what you went through in the last 24 months?
Yes, I remember this since 2019 or 18. Uh, really, the first thing is confidence of God. No, uh, I think one. I like to explain this thing about the Proverbs 6. I think Proverbs chapter 6, verse 7, something like that. That says that the small ant and God talks
Mm.
about the small ants. No, once people that once trying to do business with me or looking for money from me, they ask me how you do, how you maintain all of this even the rhythm, rhythm, because we continue opening business, no. and I say, and I remember suddenly, God says that just do what the little lamb do. They don't have savior or master, and every he he do always this thing, this small thing in the summer, taking for the winter. So, and I explain, I'm continue doing the same. It doesn't matter if now of course, now I have money because to talk. To be in bankruptcy, to talk now that we have almost $1 million invested in United States is crazy. Uh, what I'm doing, the same thing. In the summer, I pick up to save in the in the winter, no. That to maintain my focus there, I think all these 24 months, I challenged some fears, for sure, many times, desperate many things, and suddenly it's no, 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 no. Calm down. You do this for God. You are not doing this for you. The thing is you continue working, do your process, repeat the thing, do every month, the responsibility with the money. I'm teaching my sons on this even. Uh, for example, Adrian, that is in London, I teach. I started teaching him about business. So we buy a machine. I told you maybe to mine, to mining, to mining in Bitcoin. Was like a fun, a joy, playing this machine. Now this guy is diversifying in the stock market. He's buying actions of Tesla, of Google. I buy this some cryptocurrency, and I do $300 in 1 week. Man, and then I explain him. Now learn about. You are gonna repeat this several times. Don't think to invest too much money. So what you did, how you do many times, and with that you're gonna make money. So now he's like a executive financial of crypto. Now he's an expert. This crazy this guy. I love that. And Santiago now is working with me in the company too.
Wow.
I bring him. He studied the university too, but he's helping me with things now. So. When you, I think for the people, when they define the roles about the responsibility with God in business, repeat again, repeat again, repeat again. It doesn't matter what is happening. We change president. He's really not too part of the businessmen of the companies in general in Mexico. We face many fears all these 24 months. We don't fire people with the COVID. We pay all the salary. We prepare with savings. We prepare me with many things, and nobody knows. I don't save money for the COVID. Nobody knows that. Suddenly it happened in March, no? But what we were doing always was preventive, preventive, and suddenly come the problem, and we were, you know, planning, flying very good, this thing. So I think that when you take this responsibility about what you learn from God, repeat again, repeat again, repeat again, repeat again.
Wow. Good stuff. Now, Rene, I want you to help me spell Nehemiah week. Now, first, do you remember your first Nehemiah week? How was that experience for you?
The first Nehemiah week?
Yeah.
Crazy. My English was maybe 20%. Maybe now I'm in 70, 80,
Yep.
I think, more or less.
Yep.
That time was 20. I went there and I sit there and I say, I gonna learn.
You used to bring a translator. Now you translate for other people.
Not too much. Not too much. But it was nice. I went with my son Santiago. He was, I think, 10 or 11 years. It was so funny that we were in this place in Portland, taking the conference. I remember that I walked to the aisle, behind the aisle. I was stand up there, listening, and suddenly you cross and you say, "Hey, man, you want to be part of an international?" What? You say, "Yes, we are here." So what was a huge challenge to break for to break many fears of my person, no?
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So when you think about, we were supposed to be in Mexico this year, but now we're doing it digitally because of COVID-19. And so what will you say, those who are watching this and listening, what can you tell them as to why they should come to Nehemiah Week? Encourage the people. Help me sell the week. Tell them why they should come.
I know that it will be very. I don't know. I'm having this to go every year to Orlando to the Nehemiah Week. All the family that we have, all my friends that I love, Malanto from Madagascar, Anichu. I'm afraid from Anichu and Janet Herrero. They are so tough in business. These two women, I learned too much about from her, from them. Now it will be by online the Nehemiah Week.
Yeah.
Nehemiah project is always improving thing, always, always, always. So I'm sure that it will be a great experience to meet more people in other part of the world with the same necessities, with this when we have the same heart on this, it's so easy to go through any place with all the friends around the world. So I tell to everybody, really go to the Nehemiah Week online. Do it. You're gonna to. It will be. I was thinking how now we are gonna do the Monday. How is it? The Monday is the business.
Oh, the tour. Yeah.
The tour. I will miss barbecue,
I
some
know.
barbecue, some business, but I don't want to lose that now online. How it will be at the end is a family. I saw my sons how they suffer to do the university online. Santiago was struggled 6 hours sitting in front of the of the computer. But what I was explaining yesterday to Santiago is, Santi, maybe this will be for the 6 months more or 1 year maybe. So it's a challenge for everyone, but Nehemiah is great. So the Nehemiah Week is really a part of my life. So I invite everybody that really go to the Nehemiah Week online. You're gonna learn too much things.
Wow. Awesome. Again, you heard it from Rene. If you've not yet registered, go to nehemiahweek.com, nehemiahweek.com. There you can register to be part of the week and join us. You experience the business tour, the training, the coaching, the Ask the Capital, the business plan competition, and all the various speakers and training around how to develop a growth strategy. Rene, now help me study it in Spanish. What would you say in Spanish to the Spanish listeners as to why they should come to Nehemiah Week? Say it in Spanish. And
To invite them.
yeah,
In
invite
Spanish.
them.
Ah,
Invite them.
bueno.
Yeah.
Si hay ahí público en español, vayan a la Nehemiah Week. De veras, yo se los recomiendo. Yo lo he vivido durante 10 años. Cada Nehemiah Week es un recordatorio de esta responsabilidad, del rol que hacemos, de conocer nuevas personas. Yo creo que si yo no hubiera hecho, yo no estaría en este punto y en este lugar si yo no hubiera, me hubiera mantenido fiel a esta parte de estar siempre con Nehemiah, lo que deja de conocimiento, lo que deja en el corazón de las personas. Y Nehemiah me ayudó a definirme como un emprendedor, como un inversionista. Yo nunca pensé que iba a estar en esta posición, y hoy sigo haciendo lo que les decía con lo de Proverbios 6, que dice que la pequeña hormiga que no tiene amo ni señor, que en el verano va y junta para que no le falte en el invierno, le dice, oh, mira, hombre insensato. Para mí eso es Nehemiah, es repetir, 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 repetir. Y hoy puedo, o sea, estos montos de los que habla Patricia acerca de montos de inversión, pues yo no me lo había imaginado, pero ni me quita el sueño, ni me ni lo hago por una vanidad, sino porque es la forma que Dios me dio de vivir. Entonces cualquiera lo puede hacer, se los prometo. Así que inscríbanse a la Nehemiah Week, por favor.
Wow.
Ready.
Awesome. Looking forward to see you there. Again, go to nehemiahweek.com, nehemiahweek.com. There you can register. We are going to have Spanish translation and French translation. So come and you'll enjoy the week of August 10th to the 15th. Rene, you are a learner and you're also very coachable. Tell me, how important has coaching been for you, and why have you so committed to coaching as you've grown up in this journey?
I don't know how the word in English, but I made many mistakes in my life before, many in the business. To walk alone, thinking that I have the truth of everything. So about contrast, the opportunity to be coaching for an expert, for example, like you in my life, and I contrast my ideas always. No, I take the coaching
Certification.
I did it. How help to go deep in your ideas, to put in front. At the end, it's my responsibility to do that. But without the help of you, for example, and too much important for me, really, a coach, a believer, as a believer, you as a believer in Christ, and coach. Always, I feel really comfortable to talk with you. Because you always are so respectful about that, about my ideas, no, my crazy ideas, and well, I think it's for everybody to have a coach. I think we have in Mexico a coach. We certify Penelope, that is my partner with KBC United States, and here in Mexico we are partners of KBC Mexico. We have the license, and she's a great coach. I invite her to coach people from the company, from Incorp even. She was coaching some people there. Was a small process, but I'm pushing the company to do this regularly for all the people in the company. We start with the managers and these things, no? So for me, it's so important to have my coach with you. I love that, and I really challenge the people that give them, have to give themselves this opportunity, no, to them, no. You in Mexico you can approach with Penelope Bravo. It's an excellent coach, and well, obviously you and all the team that you have, even, no, like Debra, no. Debra is a great coach too.
I love it. Thank you so much for that, Rene. You were the first. We're coming to the end here again. Talking to Rene Villar, the global impact investor. He'll be at Nehemiah Week, and he'll be one of the investors who'll be looking at two of the businesses that will be pitching this year. And he's talking about what it means to be an investor and giving kind of tips and so forth. Rene, you were the first. As we further wrap up here, you were the first international person to be on the board of directors of the Nehemiah Project. How has that experience been, being on the board of directors? By the way, we have a board meeting next week at this time, next Friday. I hope you're ready. How has the experience been, being the first international on the Nehemiah board of directors?
Even the same, no. It was I was afraid in the beginning. I remember when you invite me about that. I remember in that was 4 years ago, I think. We were in one of the rooms in the hotel with the was people from IT, our friend from Bulgaria, Bulgari. You remember him? And many people. We were praying there. We were praying. We were praying Malanto. We were 6, 8 people. We were praying about how we the internationals to have a role, a responsibility with this role about being international. And suddenly you invite me. But I don't know nothing about business, Patrice. I remember that I told you, did you tell me, don't worry. And I sit there and I start to learn the importance of the board meetings, even because in Mexico we don't have that culture. We don't have that culture. I studied many things, some things about that, and we don't have that culture about the board meetings. So for me, really, the only thing that I can say is thanks because I learned too many things about that. I learned too much. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to be part of that. And well, it's a great responsibility. I see how you every board meeting you inform to everybody. I remember once when Ben Franklin, he was like upset. He was, and I said, "Hey, this is the president. Why you're? He's the founder of Nehemiah. You're." He's so tough, this Ben, no? I remember him, so was funny, no? And well, it's a great opportunity to be there. Thank you so much.
Wow. I remember when you got your first board packet like this, and do you read those board packages?
It's around 8 hours of the Saturday. I was thinking I will go to Disney. 8 hours. Then no, I want to go to Disney. I don't want to be there. No, but I learned too much, and how every part of the team are presenting their task, well, everybody, no? Always Debra with the international part, Wendy with the part of Orlando, and Robert with the marketing. Robert with the marketing, Ron with the financials, always checking the numbers.
And so, Rene, my last question before we wrap up.
Yes.
One of the investments that you made in the United States was to purchase a building in Orlando.
Yes.
And now your building hosts the first full-service Ecommunity Center.
I saw that.
First, how do you feel about that? And first, thank you. You're one of the investors. Because of you, that building is here today, and they're using the Ecommunity to generate money for the buildings. How do you feel about it? By your building hosts the Ecommunity Center in Orlando, the first full-service one.
When I saw the pictures in internet on the Facebook, I don't think that is good. I think the proud is for God, not for humans. But I feel proud. Yes, man. Really, I want to go to Orlando soon to look the place. It's so nice. The advertisement in the outside the building. So I never imagined that. That's why I don't care what I'm doing. When you do all these things for God. I always say to the entrepreneurs, don't focus just on the point that you want to arrive in the business. God is gonna do this. At the end, you're gonna be in a better place if you permit that God do that. So I'm not squeezing myself like, oh no, the building was for this, and no, it's so nice to see now that. It's a promise from God. No, it's incredible. I saw that, and now I want to put to do with the house that I have here in Querétaro, in the real estate company. I'm gonna do my community center there. I want.
I love it. Powerful. Well, thank you so much. That was Yannette and Wendy made that happen, and of course Dean. But those are those.
Congratulations, congratulations. It's the first of many in the world.
Amen.
It's
Amen.
the first of many in the world.
So it's funny. You're Mexican. There's not even one in Mexico, but yeah, you helped make one in Orlando.
and soon in Cameroon.
Amen. Yes, my sister now she's doing translation for Nehemiah. In the boardroom, she says, "So when are we doing it in Cameroon?" She's taking notes. She's preparing.
Okay.
Well, Rene, thank you so much. Arsene says hello. Arsene is one of the Beamer partners in Congo.
Okay.
Morgan.
Hello to everybody.
Hello. Arsene managed the hotel in Congo. So Arsene, good to see you, buddy. We miss you, man. Where you been, Arsene? But anyway, Rene, thank you for how God have used you to impact Nehemiah Project, to impact Nehemiah Mexico, and to impact so entrepreneurs around the world. Looking forward to seeing you next week at the board meeting and seeing you at Nehemiah Week. Rene, closing statements. Many entrepreneurs, as you know, are going through a lot of difficulties because of COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
Can you say a word of encouragement? What can you say to encourage entrepreneurs who are watching around the world as to, encourage them to stay the course as they prepare, as we close here?
For this time, you say about the COVID, and I think don't lose your dreams. Don't lose your dreams. The dreams are so important. I think it's like what God take from us to help us to build things, no? And so don't stop dreaming. I think God likes that from me, from everybody, I think. So and think always what you're gonna do that is for growth. He's the owner. God is the owner of the silver and the plate. The Bible says, no. So it's an honor to administrate for Him these things. So if you are facing problems in this moment, it's just for a season. We will pass this season. We will pass this season, and for sure you have a family in Nehemiah. In all of the people of Nehemiah, feel confidence to talk about your challenge. I think a problem that the regular businessman has is that they don't like to talk about their what they are suffering in their business. It's like embarrassing. Mm-hmm. I think.
Yeah.
So and always we made the mistake to do this in the business. When you find help in other brother, maybe the problem is not that big. I learned that, and I see many times this. People that come with us always with a huge problem, and we start to move some things. There is a problem, but when you define the problem, we can handle. And you have a family here in Mexico, around the world, with all the people of Nehemiah. I'm for sure. I'm not an expert of business, but if in some way I can help anybody in any part of the world, I will do. I will contrast these ideas with the people. So stay calm, don't stop dreaming, and please contact everybody of Nehemiah, because we love to help each other and as family, no?
Oh, I love it. Lorraine, wait, is this your wife? Lorraine said, "Thanks for sharing." Your wife last is not Arceo, is it? ARC. Can you put that up, please? Well, Rene, thank you so much for those words. That's not your wife, right? No. Okay. All right, because Rene's wife's name is Lorena.
Lorena.
Yeah. Lorraine, thank you so much for your comments. We appreciate it. She said, thanks for sharing. Ricky, thank you for being here. Guys, thanks for watching. Listen, do not leave yet because I'm going to pray for you guys. And then there's a video I want you to watch. If you enjoyed our podcast, we want you to visit our website, nehemiahproject.org, nehemiahproject.org, or ecommunity.com, nehemiahecommunity.com. There you can learn how to take advantage of training, coaching, and access to capital. She said, yes, I am. That's your wife, Rene.
Yes. Yes, I am. Yes, he's my wife.
Lorena, that's the queen. You didn't recognize your wife.
I was trying to look the picture, but even with my glass, I can see it.
I love it.
But I see her name. Yes, hello, baby.
So you're gonna have to come back with Lorena to watch on the podcast, so we can talk about your journey in Cameroon.
in the motorcycle in Cameroon.
That's right. Oh, Lorena, my buddy. That's my girlfriend from Mexico.
Yes.
We'll go dancing when you come to the U.S. with Rene. Well, Rene, thank you so much. Listen.
Thank you.
And do not leave yet. I want to invite you to Nehemiah Week, August the 10th through the 15th. Come and learn from Rene and many others as you see how to ask questions of entrepreneurs who are looking to raise capital at the Investors Forum. With that said, let me say this prayer for you. Lorena said, no. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord enable you to steward those talents that you have under your care, and to steward it in such a way that one day you will hear those wonderful words. Well done, good and faithful servant. You've been faithful over a few things. Guess what? He'll now make you ruler over much. God bless you. Rene, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Lorena, I love you so much. God bless you. Thanks for watching.
Adios, amor.
Nehemiah Week is an annual event designed to equip entrepreneurs and leaders from around the world, to inspire and to honor marketplace leaders for their accomplishments and what they're doing to model Christ in the marketplace.
God is doing incredible things at Nehemiah Week.
Ladies and gentlemen, God has called us to be a light for Him, to be an example for Him, to be a model for Him, so that as others see us, not hear us, but see us, they can see a model of Christ.
Yeah, each year at Nehemiah Week, we gather the nations.
Our vision is to transform the marketplace with the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ, one entrepreneur at a time.
We have learned to do business in a godly way. And we'll actually spread this to our church as well.
Through the course of Nehemiah Week includes information around principles of biblical entrepreneurship, so really looking at biblical economics.
What we've learned this week is about training. Nehemiah Project is about training and then coaching and then accessing capital.
Nehemiah gave me godly vision. Really impacts the way that I see doing business.
Nehemiah Week not only gives birth to new ideas, it connects us with resources and relationships that makes them possible.
But what we want to do is not just affect here in the U.S. We want to take this curriculum all over the world.
Whatever it is, the question is, what impact will this have on others?
It's something that's going to change lives. So I'm ready to use whatever I have for the benefit of the kingdom of God.
I believe that the nations are going to shake because of this week. Biblical entrepreneurship takes a stand to say we are going to be witnesses for Jesus Christ in the marketplace.